Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who loves walking up to electrified fences and eating the peanut butter off of them. Adam Hodgins.
It is my favorite pastime. You are correct.
I mean, it's a risk reward, correct?
I mean, peanut butter tastes better off of a wire.
I think that's true. I mean, for me, I stopped eating just random peanut butter. I didn't think it was too extreme, so now I just skydive and eat peanut butter, or I'm on a motorcycle eating peanut butter.
I can get behind that 100%. Sometimes I'll just put a peanut butter on a fork and then stick the other side of the fork into a socket. So
don't. I didn't know where that was going.
No, it's just to get it as much charge in there as you can.
Yeah, and I mean, we could do this in this movie that we're talking about, Peter Rabbit. They fly in airplanes, eat peanut butter in there. They're on motorcycles, eat peanut butter in there. Like plenty of places that eat extreme peanut butter. That's what
It is the planes, trains, and automobiles of animal movies.
Yeah. I mean, some people do extreme snowboarding. I extreme peanut butter.
That makes sense to me.
Now we have some very special guests with us, Adam. So you wanna introduce them?
Yes. So we have actually the two biggest Peter Rabbit fans that I could find, which happen to be also my children. So my son Grayson is here. He's 10 years old. Say hello, Grayson.
Hello.
He clapped first, and then he said hello because he's very dramatic. And then we also have my daughter who is 8, and her name is Aislinn. Aislinn, can you say hello?
Hi.
Hello.
There we go. So Grayson is named for Dick Grayson.
Oh, wow.
His middle name is Wayne, so it's Grayson Wayne. So that's a little homage to Batman and Robin there.
Dick Grayson, Bruce Wayne.
Right. And Aislinn gets her name from the princess from the movie Dragonheart.
Whoa.
So it's a deep cut movie reference for my kids there. That's
the Sean Connery, Dennis Quaid yelling one, right?
It sure is.
It doesn't rhyme, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's right. So
we need to talk about that movie, by the way.
That needs to go on the short list, absolutely.
Yeah, of our long list.
Because I think I mentioned to you my Dennis Quaid theory. He doesn't make a bad movie.
He just, yeah. No, I
his
think
worst movie is very, very watchable.
Because he's in it.
Exactly. He brings his A game. But we stumbled across Peter Rabbit as a family because we get together and do family movie nights quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you get some duds, and sometimes you get some great ones. But never have I seen a reaction from my entire family like we did when we sat down and watched Peter Rabbit.
And I can't believe that movie made you laugh that hard.
I was dying laughing watching the movie. But
you fell off your chair.
There was a number. We were a very animated family that night watching it. It was the perfect moment.
It was very cinematic.
It was our family looked like the Peter Rabbit family going on there.
When Megan and I watched it, my wife and I, who you two are best friends now after the Venom pod, and we watched it, and I didn't know what to expect. Right, I just knew that my brother. He told me that he and his kids loved it. My good friend Matt, a.k.a. Kahuna, he and his kid watched it and loved it. So I'm like, well, let's watch it. So Megan and I sat down, and the tone just caught me off guard, and we just laughed so hard at the rib breaking, and I almost broke a rib laughing at the rib breaking.
It really goes for it. It doesn't hold anything back.
And so this movie is so side character rich. That's my favorite part of it, for sure. I just love yeah. All right, so what were you saying?
Well, I'm just saying. So I was thinking before you and I kind of get to the meat of this, and before my kids head to bed, I thought they could each give you what they thought of the movie, their favorite part, and why they would recommend it to somebody.
I love it. I can't wait to hear it.
All right. So Grayson, do you want to go first? Ladies before gentlemen.
I love it.
Okay. But you are older, and your sister is maybe a little bit more nervous than you are. So give us why you liked it, your favorite part, and why you'd recommend it to a friend.
Well, my mom has the old version of Peter Rabbit in our movie shelf, and when I was younger, I used to watch it all the time.
Right.
So at first everything seemed like stop, go, so I didn't know what to expect from this.
Right.
But when I watched it, it was hilarious. I instantly knew that this was going to be the best movie Aislinn has ever seen. as soon as those birds got knocked out of the sky.
Yes, the singing birds.
Singing Steal My
classic
Sunshine.
Exactly. So what would you say is your favorite part of the movie?
Well, when my favorite part was when everybody was hiding in the flowers and everything, and Mr. McGregor was out trying to get rid of them in the store. But my favorite was Mopsy. No, not Mopsy, but Cottontail when she flew out of the sky. Like, where, how in the world did she get up there? There's no ladders, there's no, like, seriously. But yet, she falls straight out of the sky, and boom.
I think she got there because she's the oldest.
I love how high she could jump. Wasn't there a scene in the movie where one of them jumped really high?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that Cottontail?
Yeah, the girl with the green vest. Yeah. That's her.
Okay, Aislinn, so what do you think of the movie?
I think it's really, really funny.
Yeah? Would you say you have a favorite part of the movie?
No, because my favorite part of the movie is the whole movie.
That is a very, very bold assumption, Aislinn.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So your favorite part of the movie is half an hour long.
You know what my favorite part is, Aislinn? My favorite part is when they're sitting there watching Thomas, and he's spraying the bottle, and they're going, "That's normal," and then they're like, "That's not normal," and he's spinning around in a circle, shooting it, and then she's like, "That's normal," and then he shoots himself in the face, and they're like, "Yeah, definitely not normal." That was so
cracking up over here.
That was so weird. That was just the humor I loved. He's this guy sprinting around in a circle, and then he sprays himself. This is not normal. Not normal. What a funny scene.
So, Grayson, out of 1 out of 10 stolen carrots, how many carrots would you give this movie? Give them all the beans?
Yeah, all the beans.
20 beans? Wait, so 10
beans.
carrots is roughly equivalent of about 47 beans.
Right, so it's a solid 6.5 carrots. Aislinn, how many stolen carrots out of 10 would you give this movie? No one can see what you're doing on a microphone.
10?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Be a big old 10.
Do you think a Dalek would have made it better?
No, absolutely.
No, it would have ruined the whole thing. It's hilarious the way it is.
Finally, I agree with you with something.
But Aislinn and I were watching Doctor Who the other day, and it was an episode with Craig in it, and we realized that he was the voice of Peter Rabbit. So it's a connection between her favorite show and her favorite movie.
Oh, wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mind blown.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Well, thanks for joining. That was fun. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you guys go and brush your teeth and hop into bed, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys.
Let's do it again. We'll do it again.
Bye.
Bye. Go Daleks.
Go Daleks. We're kind of doing
baby.
We're kind of doing camp mode a little bit here because their mom's in Peru right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's doing summer camp there for Peruvian kids, and so she's away for a couple weeks. So we're just kind of doing a bunch of movies and whatnot.
I was hoping you would say that she's hunting for Paddington.
Oh, how good is Paddington?
Dude, Paddington 1 and 2 are just national treasures. I almost don't want to talk about them because they're just so good. I don't know how to capture how good they are in a podcast.
I think the scene that captures how endearing those movies are is in the first movie when it's raining and Paddington looks at the emergency marmalade sandwich in his hat. And he thinks about it, and then he says, "No, it's not bad enough yet." And he puts it back on his head. And then the guard hands him a much bigger sandwich from under his hat.
Yep.
That to me is just like, that's how endearing that movie is summed up in that moment right there.
My favorite moment of the two is Barry, the security guard, in the second one when, it's a guy, I forget his name, but he's also in Mindhunter, he was in Mighty Boosh, and he also wrote these movies. But there's a scene where he's a security guard, and he's telling the story later on. He's like, and I blasted out with my blinding speed. And you just see him walking fast, drinking coffee.
So this movie, Peter Rabbit, like my kids made an allusion to, my wife is a huge Beatrix Potter fan. Like, loves them. And when you were a kid, did you ever have like a promotion where when you filled up your tank of gas, you got like a treat for the kids?
No. I never even knew about Peter Rabbit until I saw this movie.
Well, when I was a kid, it wasn't just Peter Rabbit. Like every couple months, there'd be like a new promotion, kind of like a Happy Meal toy. But if you fill a tank all the way to the top, you would there was like action figures one time, there was like GoBots one time, and one time was these Beatrix Potter books.
What?
Yeah, no, it was incredible.
What kind of gas? These are great gas stations.
Yeah, it was at the Texaco, and I don't know.
I used to loiter outside my gas stations and asking people for like dimes and nickels so I could buy cream soda.
Oh, cream soda is the best pop.
Yeah, because I learned if I asked for more, they wouldn't give it to me. But if I said I needed a dime, people would most of the time give it to me.
No one's going to give you $1, but 10 guys will give you a dime.
Yeah, exactly. And I could get a cream soda pretty quick.
So anyways, my wife was very like beloved to these books, and she gets very like she's the quintessential like, oh, the movie is different from the books, I don't like it. Like she loves the Laura Ingalls Wilder books. So I got her like the box set of Little House on the Prairie, and she doesn't have any time for the show. She's like, it's different from the books, so I don't love it. And so when we sat down to watch this movie, I was on edge because I was like, I don't want to hear how it's different than the book. And you know that, in the modern era of like animated movies, they're going to take liberties with it.
Oh yeah.
But it was done, in her words, it was done with the same heart and the same characters as the books. It wasn't a retelling of that story. It was a continuation. But the characters were so spot on that she just fell in love with it right away. And I think that's at the core of this movie, this bananas, off the wall, slapstick rabbit movie. Like every one of these characters is so rich, like you were saying, that just like there's so much heart to it that you can't not fall in love with the whole rabbit family.
I want to ask what you think. I like Peter Rabbit. Now, I think James Corden's maybe one of the few people that could have pulled this character off, because he is a turd and he is selfish and he does kind of not listen and he takes charge and
he's a narcissist to the core.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but we were talking about this the other day on our Captain Ron podcast, episode 175. Kurt Russell's the only one that could have made Ron not seem like a lecherous scuzzbucket. And I think Corden, the way he plays off this dialogue, it works. It works the way he is.
And I think the way he does the dialogue, I said to Heather, it's kind of like almost like 1984 doublespeak, where everything he says is actually like two sentences.
Yeah.
Because he'll be like, sorry that, our mom and dad lost. And he has this heartfelt moment where he's like, yeah, our mom and dad died and we're really like beat up about it. Not so much you because you're a cousin. And so he like tears down, the cousin and like lets them know that you are not to be as sad as we are, but this is a very sad emotional moment. So he has this, it's like sarcasm wrapped in heart.
And he got that jacket back for his cousin. And then they're like, yeah, but you wear brown on brown. It's weird.
So my big thing when I watch a movie, and I don't know if you have like, I think we all have checklists in our mind when we watch a movie, and I don't think it's like a conscious thing, but subconsciously we have a checklist, and over watching so many I've kind of, but one of the first things I look for is like, what are the rules of the universe? Mm-hmm. And so like I'll buy Star Wars where you go to space and you talk to Chewbacca and Han can understand what he's saying. Like if that's the rules, I'm in. I get it. If a movie is set in like my world, I get those rules. Like that's okay. I didn't understand to this moment the rules of this movie.
Yeah. All right. So bones don't break.
No.
All right. Humans can understand animals if their heart is open.
Right. Or if they're really angry enough at the rabbits.
Yeah.
Like, but again, I was like, do they see the coats? Like, and then, but they address that. They're like, Mr. McGregor Jr., he says, they're wearing coats.